Alright, it's time to pot up some of these pawpaw seedlings today, and I'm not going to do them all today because I have a couple hundred out here potentially. But I want to take the time to show you guys how pawpaws are some really weird seedlings. So first off, you can see their tips bend down, and that's just kind of true throughout their whole life. Typically they'll have these sort of downturned things, or at least they'll bend over a little bit like that. The terminal leaf bud, see it kind of down. But another weird thing is when they are germinating, as you can see down here, they do this like pretty big shepherd's hook thing. Like the seed germinates, puts a taproot straight down, and then that taproot kind of coming out, like imagine the seeds at the top of my finger here, that taproot expands and bends upward like that and just puts up this massive crook like that. While the taproot's going down, this is how the plant extends upwards. And you can see two of them right there. There's a few more throughout. That one over there is doing kind of a wider version of it. But yeah, then quite often, not always, but quite often, they actually won't have their seed above the soil. They'll sort of rip their seed off in the ground. And that, inside that seedling, there are cotyledons, but they don't really come out with the seedling. They take all their energy out of the cotyledons, put it into a giant taproot that goes straight down into the ground. They usually, this one's a little bit of a weirdo, but they usually rip off that seed below ground and leave it down there, so that all you see once that shepherd's hook completely unfurls is a little stem sticking up like that one right there. Well, a couple of them there actually. You see both of these guys here, and they don't really have any leaves at first. That shepherd's hook straightens out, and then they start to grow leaves, and the leaves get bigger, and eventually they have a full set of leaves. But they have enough energy that they pull out of that seed head and put down into that taproot and store it in that taproot, and then they don't need the seed head anymore. It's got most of its nutrients are removed, and it has enough energy in that taproot to move forward with life. This one has quite a bit that have full leaves on it. There's probably some more down there in the soil, because I think I have maybe about 20 in this pot, and I only see what 6, 7 up above the soil right now. So I'll probably encounter some more down underneath the soil that are sort of half germinated, and that's fine as long as I'm gentle with them. This will all work out. Okay, never using these pots again. They're far too rigid and they're far too grippy on the inside. But there we go. So you see sort of the structure here. Like I was saying, can you guys see this one? Yeah. Okay. This seed contains very little matter. It puts out this enormous, massive taproot. And all of the energy from that seed gets stored in the taproot. And it doesn't need the seed anymore. Then it puts up that little spike, like this one right here, with base where it's ripped off the seed underground. It basically has no leaves, and then it develops leaves using the energy stored in the taproot. It's a strange method. It's a strange tactic of germination, but I wanted to show you this stage of them. So this one has not developed that massive root system, so it probably still has a ton of energy still stored in the seed head, or the seed here, the cotyledons in there. But you can see what they've done. So they sort of go out, create this sort of mass here of root, and then start to swell up this stem, creating that hook as this giant taproot develops downward. And so yeah, very sad that I dug this up, because this is a little trickier to transplant. I'm gonna try to do it really quickly to get it out of the air, but I did want to show you guys sort of an intermediate stage here. Yeah, this is kind of interesting, but I wish I hadn't disturbed this little guy quite yet. Look at this one. Look how weird this is. Huge taproot, enormous taproot, no leaves at all. ripped them all off underground. That's totally normal for these things. They'll grow, they'll put on real leaves. This will develop into this and will develop into a full tree. Just look at that whole taproot that came out of that seed, which is no longer there, no leaves. Crazy, crazy, crazy way to start life. You just rip off your own head and then regrow it all. Nuts. You're insane. And when I'm talking about the cotyledons, which normally are the store of energy for a plant, getting ripped off during the germination and surface breaking portion of this, what I mean is those are still in that seed head. This is a discarded seed head that was right down here as I was sifting through here to make sure I got them all. This was one that had been ripped off under the soil, starting to decay now. But these are the cotyledons in here. These wrinkly little leaves, still all packed up tight. But these were the store of energy for the seed inside this, the seedling inside this seed. And then that popped towards the surface, or the seed did that little hook thing, and then broke off and left the seed behind underground. And these are the cotyledons still in there. A lot of plants, most plants, carry their cotyledons with them above ground. And those are the first seeds that start to the first leaves that start to photosynthesize above ground, but not with pawpaws. They drain their cotyledons, use all of that energy to make a giant taproot. Then they surface, rip off the cotyledons because they don't need them anymore. There's not much left in them. And then they regrow the leaves from the energy stored in the taproot. And there we go.